Hello there, Scorpio. First and foremost, I'd like to wish you a very happy new year, and I'd like to welcome you to your January 2018 reading. As you can tell by all the videos that I've posted, I'm back to the normal format, one video for each of the signs, so I hope you enjoy that. Let's get started with the channeled information for your sign. As I selected a deck of cards and then tuned into the energy of your sign, the piece of information that came through loud and clear was that it's really a time for you to recharge. And this isn't just about rest and relaxation. This is also about taking time to really remove any of the extraneous extracurricular activities that you're involved in, or if you've been in a habit of overextending yourself or working too many hours. This month you really want to focus on putting energy back into your sort of internal battery. So, sometimes we just think that it's important to have, it's almost like back in the 80s, that no pain, no gain. Not the case. If you are suffering because you're working too hard, or if you're constantly running on empty, you're actually going to lose your productivity. It has lasting effects in a negative way on your body. And so I want you to take care of yourself and use this month for reflection. So if you don't have a meditation practice, you could journal. You could just use the time to think or to talk to somebody and really kind of take stock. It's amazing what even, a weekend can do if you can't take a lot of time off or can't separate too much time for like concentration. But I think if you could spend a week, that would be fantastic. And you could really start to look at, are you doing things effectively? Do you even like some of the things that you're doing? What do you want to do? It's a chance to just be with yourself. And that's a really productive and important thing. And unfortunately, in this present society, sometimes we think everything's measured by the end product, but sometimes we need time to integrate and to reflect. And so I'm encouraging you to do both of those things this month. All right, let's go ahead now and get started on the general part of the reading. As you know, if you've seen me from month to month, I separate this into a few parts, but for the new folks, let me just go through that. I'll start off first with a Celtic cross, and that's going to give me information on, generally speaking, what's going to happen for you this month. I use a catalyst card, which will tie everything together and give us a little bit more insight. And then finally, I like to expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. This way you get a really, almost like a 365-degree view of the month. So let's shuffle the cards. And at this point, I like to kind of stay quiet and just observe energetically what's coming through. And now let's take a look at that catalyst card, and then I will go through everything that's in front of us. All right, so we have this Eagle card here, which is really speaking to going to higher knowledge. Now, the interesting thing about this Eagle, though, with the reversal is there may be something that you're missing. Now, I think of an eagle and I think of eagle eye, like great eyesight, ability to hone in on something and then go after it. It is a bird of prey, so it's not afraid to be competitive. So what you're gonna have to do this month is watch out for people around you that may be either trying to edge in on something, maybe go after a job opportunity that you're up for, or there may be competition if you're trying to win over someone's heart. You want to keep your eyes open and be aware of the competition that could be going on this month. And you also want to do all of the possible due diligence you can for research. And so if you are interested in buying a car or getting a loan or buying a house, this is the time to really look at the market, look at what's like competitively speaking out there. And whenever you're ready to make an offer or really, put your money on the table, you should have no doubts in your mind. So the Eagle is competitive. It is really keen on details. It looks for what it wants. And so there's a little work to be done in this because the card is reversed, but it's within reach. And the last thing with this is you're going to have your eyes opened. Things will be revealed to you this month. but again, it may not be something that you were looking to find. It's if with the reversal. So I just want you to be open to what you receive. Try not to judge it. And then again, for big decisions, make sure that you're not missing something. Open your eyes up in those situations. And then if you want to fight for something, remember you have the power of the eagle behind you, which is, again, a bird of prey, one of the mightiest birds of prey, and is a formidable force. So you've got that energy if you need to tap into it. Let's go ahead now and take a look at all of the cards. And these are slightly larger than the normal decks that I use, so I'll make sure to pull each one to the viewer so you can see what it is. Right at the center, we have the Magician card, which is actually speaking to your ability to manifest. And so you have a lot of potential to multitask this month. The traditional illustration will show one of every suit, and I see it as the tarot multitasker. So know that you can actually have several things going on this month. Even though I said recharging is part of this, you can begin things and monitor them, and that's actually going to be something that won't exhaust you. When I'm looking at relationships and also just what you're focusing on, there's a lot of stuff coming back from last year, maybe some unfinished business, maybe a person from the past that you haven't seen for a while. Whenever I see the Eight of Cups, it's a card of returns. It's also a card of cycles. Revisit these cycles and see, are they suiting you? Do you like them? If so, you can continue them. If not, you can break them up and do something new. Because with the Magician card right at the center, it's within your power to break or continue all of these cycles. As I look in your deep past, it looks like you've done either some serious contemplation around money, or you've made some significant strides perhaps in school, business, work, or the accumulation of money. So I like that this is on your mind. It looks like you're entering January with a really firm foot in what it is that you want to accomplish, and that's key to success. So keep it up. And if you aren't there, just know that this still is with you. I see that energy with you. So you can actually harness a lot of positive momentum when it comes to money and also change. Because for me, the Wheel of Fortune is about moving through the seasons of your life. And so it feels like you've already moved through a major season and there's more to come. So basically you don't want to hold on to the past too much. And there is some stuff coming through from the past. This is a chance to release it if you'd like. As I look at what's influencing you in the present right now, it looks like you have a little bit of energy with parents here, either a mother or a father figure that's weighing in pretty heavily, or it could be a boss. But what I want you to try to do with the Empress card here is think to yourself, what parts of my life do I want to have more autonomy or more control over? And a lot of times when we see the Empress or the Emperor card, it's speaking to your own ability to nurture yourself, to take control, to be the one that is calling the shots. So I see a desire to do this and also a possibility to do this if that's something that you're interested in. Your crowning card is the Hierophant. And this is a really great card for navigating either hierarchical systems, political systems, bureaucracy. And so anything that's challenging you, if for instance you have to go and get some sort of a certification or get particular paperwork pushed through in order to achieve something, you're absolutely capable of doing that this month. So just know that it's not always fun, but I see you succeeding if that's one of the challenges that you find in front of you. As I look at near future, we have the Six of Cups, and this is a very positive card. You'll even notice the word pleasure here. And so I think that one of the things you could focus on instead of all the work activities that we were talking about here previously is how can you connect to your family? If you have children or if you have pets or anybody in your life that you really derive joy being with, this is a time to nurture those relationships. And the Six of Cups is all about those pleasant, intimate relationships that you have in your life. And I see you wanting to invest more into that. And I think that's going to bring you a sense of satisfaction. As I look at your ego card here, we have the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is a building card. And you notice on this one, it says works. In other decks, it's basically, to me, I interpret it as a master builder or a card of mastery. So anything that you put your mind to, particularly something like if you're in college and working on a dissertation, or if you're deciding to really spend your time working on a long-term project that requires a lot of detail-oriented work, this is a month where that slow but steady progress is going to pay off really nicely as the year kind of progresses. You may not see everything this month, but this is a month to build those foundational elements. I also feel like your money situation's pretty solid overall this month. So if you've had challenges in the past, it feels like it's shifting, and it should be something that you can control or manifest this month. Building off that Three of Pentacles here, we also have the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups shows that this is a great month for dating. A lot of other signs I've said hold back. I think for you, if you're single, get out and be with people. If you're in a relationship, spend some time with your partner, even if there's a feeling of distance. And for some of you, maybe it's a long distance relationship, or you just feel like you've lost touch. Try to reconnect this month. Some of you may be unhappy in your present situation, and this card can show a temptation. In that case, of course, you really want to do soul searching and see if you want to go down that path. I think that this is a time to heal, to mend, and to really look whoever you're with in the eye, make sure that you're both on the same page. So either way, I see people coming in and out of your life, and that being something that can bring you a lot of joy, and that you can make great strides with relationships and friendships. Now, one of the opportunities this month, as I'm looking at hopes and fears, is this Four of Wands card. Now, for those of you that aren't really looking to spend time with your partner, maybe you're single, maybe you're not interested in dating, the Four of Wands really speaks to business or strategic partnerships. And so this door is open for you, but I do sense a little bit of hesitation when I'm looking at this. And for some of you, you may need to finish up other things that are kind of pulling you away from being able to partner up with someone. So whatever the distractions in your life are, I think that goes back to the idea of recharging. Really figure out how you can make yourself more available, because if and when you decide to seek out assistance, you could find someone that is a really nice complement to your skills. So at work, there might be someone who can help you figure something out that you couldn't figure out on your own, and together you guys could achieve a lot of success. As I look at the outcome of the entire month, we have the Six of Discs, or the Six of Pentacles. And this card is speaking to, again, what we were talking about earlier. It's about choices and smart choices on how you spend your money, how you spend your time, and how you spend your energy. And overall, it's a card that shows me you have more than enough, providing, of course, that you know exactly when and how to push back and say no. For me, this card always indicates balance. And this is going to include work-life balance, and also if you're in a relationship with someone, making time for them, and if you're just working on yourself, making time to recharge. So the end card really does go back to the channeled information, which was manage your time, manage your energy, manage all of your resources, and know exactly when and if you need to push back. Don't be afraid. All right, let's go ahead now and expand the forecast. We'll look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Start with the health card, and the health card is all-inclusive. It, for me, includes mind, body, and spirit. And so let's see what the message is for you this month. All right, we'll take off the top, and it says something that I hit on earlier, which was to do more research. Now, when we're looking at your health, this can indicate needing to get a second opinion, perhaps asking some people in your life for a referral, for some advice, and really making sure that anything that is major, if it's a major surgery or a big decision on how you're living, that you feel 100% informed and ready to make it. So do as much research as you need, and know that just like that Eagle card that we were looking at earlier, it's really important for you to look for the details, look for those side effects. You know, if there's any sort of medication that you're on, or if there's anything that you're doing and you feel like this might actually be exacerbating this, talk to a specialist, ask for some assistance, get second opinions. This is a great time to get second opinions. All right, let's look now at your wealth card. And when I pull a card here, this is just as much about how to make money as how you feel about money, because the emotions or the energy surrounding your sort of mental state can really have an effect on how magnetic or how sort of much you're pushing away financial opportunities. So the card for this right now is to be positive. Whenever I pull the affirmative yes card here, what it's showing is that things are possible, things are within reach. And also for some of you, it might be an answer to a question that you're having. Should I go after this? Should I do this? Am I gonna get this? This card is supporting you in saying that if you really put all of your energy into it, there's a very good chance of that. But I like to read it as more about positive energy and thinking about yes, I can, yes, I will, rather than I can't, I won't, using all that negative language. So being affirmative, being positive, and finding that sort of can-do attitude when it comes to your money, that's what's going to be the most important thing. So even if you're trying to dig out of a financially tricky situation, because although I like the Six of Pentacles, it's not as abundant, say, as the Nine of Pentacles, which shows me someone who's self-sufficient. This shows me you still have to budget and make choices. Nine of Pentacles, you're not worrying so much. So what I want you to do is think to yourself, I'm ready now. I'm going to start to build the portfolio. I'm going to build my savings. I'm going to, whatever it is you're trying to do, and just think, I'm ready. Even if you haven't done anything yet, that mere idea that you can do it, or you're ready to pick up the phone tomorrow and make something happen, that's going to open the energetic flow and create some change in your life. Let's now take a look at, we looked at health, wealth, let's look at your love card. And for me, love includes all sorts of relationships. It's not just about romance, but let's let the card do the walking here and the talking. So we have innocence here. What I want you to do is to assume the best. It's interesting that this card came in to your relationship area, to your love card. What I want you to do is not to kind of naively assume that everything's okay. That's not really the message here, because we do have this critical thought card here. But if you have something that's concerning you this month, maybe you're worried about your partner, whether it's your husband, your wife, or just a business partner, you're wondering, are they okay with the finances, or can I trust them on this area? What you want to do is enter a conversation assuming that this person, unless they've given you reason to believe otherwise, has your back, and ask them firm but fair questions. So, there's always a difference between someone that just wants to chat and say, hey, I wanted to check in on this thing that we talked about last week. Do you have any questions, or where are we at? I've been losing some sleep wondering where we are, and I know that you can probably put my mind at ease. Then you can start to read their reactions to that. If they're non-defensive, they're like, oh yeah, I meant to follow up on, here you go, let's take a look at this, I'll walk you through it. Or if they start to kind of hedge around, then you can say, hey, it seems like you're uncomfortable. Do you have questions, or is there something that you didn't tell me? But let them give you the cues before you assume the worst. Always give someone the benefit of the doubt. And at least that's the way I operate. You want to sort of see what they're showing, and then if they give you some sort of an indication, then you want to go and dig deeper, and that's what the Eagle card is about. If they're either evasive, or they get defensive, or they just don't answer, then you can dig, and then you can say, I was concerned, and now I actually am really concerned because it seems like you're not following up with this. So let's sit down and let's work this out so that we can get to the next thing. So anyway, you're going to have to try not to put them on the defensive, just have a conversation. And if they stay non-defensive and they give the information, things are great. If they don't, you'll know how to proceed. But that's usually a great way to approach conflict negotiation anyway, especially if there's something you're worried about. The other thing is this card can just tell you right now, things are pretty easy sailing. So if you haven't experienced anything that's making you feel worried, then just enjoy things. And I actually connect the Innocence card with the Six of Cups, which is usually a card of children and kind of that fun and playful energy. So what would help you if everything seems cool in your relationships and your partnerships is just to have fun. This would be a great day to, if you're, just dating someone new, or even if you've been in a long-term relationship, go out for a picnic if the weather's nice where you live, or go for a night at the movies, or watch Netflix and just order food in. Do something fun and just playful and not heavy. And the other thing is, for a business partnership, it can also just mean, instead of having like this really stuffy meeting, maybe you can take something off-site and go, talk over coffee instead of being in a boardroom or something like that. So intersperse or interject some playful energy into, your normal routine, and some really positive results could come out of that. All right, let's take a look now at your Destiny card. This functions just like GPS would. If you like the direction that you're headed, stick with it. If you don't, you can course correct. Your GPS this month is the Rusted Cross. And for me, this is speaking to, do you have faith in what you are doing? Do you still believe in what you're doing? And if you don't, then it's time to either revisit why you've lost maybe your path or your faith. And I'm not talking about religion here. I'm talking about faith in the job that you're doing, faith in your lover. For some of you, it could be spiritual, but for me, it's showing that sometimes we forget to put time and energy into things that we love, or we put so much energy that we forget why we love it. So I need you to kind of revisit on a very core level, feel it in your gut. Do you want to still do this? And so for you, that's why this is a month to recharge and reflect, because right now some things have gotten a little bit stale perhaps, and it's a chance to either reinvigorate your dedication to something, and otherwise you can walk away from it if you'd like. So that's what we talked about. There was that cycle card that could be either invigorated or broken because the magician's underneath it. So let's go ahead now and review everything we talked about, and then we'll wrap up this reading. Your channeled information this month is to take time to recharge, and while you're doing some of that meditation or contemplation, do some research in things in your life, especially if there's something that has been kind of like you've had an itch to learn about, or you just have an inkling that it's time to dig into something. Maybe it's your taxes or your finances, or again, it could be a relationship and you're worried about something, you want to bring it to the surface. The ego goes after what it needs, and this is all about knowledge acquisition, okay? Now let's look at the cards themselves and just review the meanings and the placement here. Right at the center, you can multitask this month. I'm not worried about you doing multiple things. Even though you're taking some time to rest and recharge, you can start a lot of this research, this passive sort of work this month. It's a perfect time. We have the Eight of Cups here showing that some stuff from your past is going to come back, even though we're kind of getting out of a retrograde cycle. You're still going to have a chance to resolve things. And I'm happy with the energy that you've put into work, money, or at least your relationship with work and money from last year. I want you to continue that momentum this year, especially since your outcome card is still showing that there's opportunity for growth with the Six of Pentacles. As we look at what's affecting you right now, there may be some challenges with authority or with a parental figure in your life. You want to release that and also really work on your own independence, releasing any sort of codependency that you might feel with some of these relationships that are being challenged. One of the things that could come up in those relationships is this feeling of, where do I fall in the hierarchy? Remember that though an emperor or an empress really is sort of outside of this or at the top of the hill. So I want you to start to see yourself as independent, self-sufficient, and able to manage the hierarchy, which you are this month if you choose to do that. There's this playful card, the Six of Cups, which is talking about connecting to you know, the joy in life, the children that you might have, the pet that you might have, anything that brings you a sense of friendship, camaraderie, etc. This is a foundational month when it comes to both relationships and business. A cautionary note with relationships: if you're in a relationship where things are stressed a little bit, this card is encouraging you to really spend the time with the one that you're with to decide, are we going to stick this out, or am I going to go in a different direction? New relationships, this card you really will flourish under. And again, even sort of healthy older relationships, again, this is a positive card. If you're not looking for love this month and you really want to focus on practical matters, the Four of Wands is encouraging you to spend more time with business, even though I sense a little bit of hesitation associated with this card. Again, we talked about your outcome card, which is showing smart decisions, saying no, putting up some limits are going to be really important. Six of Pentacles is all about balance. As we expand your forecast and look at your health card, don't be afraid to ask for a second opinion. When we look at wealth, stay positive, stay affirmative, believe that you can do whatever you want to do. When we look at your relationships, assume the best until someone shows you their true colors, and if and when that happens, then you want to use the Catalyst card and figure out, you know, what it is you need to know, and don't let the person off the hook in that case. But don't go at this initially assuming that someone's done something wrong. Let them reveal their colors one way or the other. Finally, are you feeling what you're doing right now? Again, sometimes we lose faith or hope or attachment to whatever our path is. This could be literal, it could be your faith, but it could also be your faith in a person, it could be your faith in a business, or just what you're doing in life. So revisit things. Kind of make sure that it's not just something that you agreed to long ago. You can release contracts. I was recently rewatching A Christmas Carol, which is a great show about redemption. And there's a character in there, Ebenezer's first love. And she says, I release you from our contract. It was something that we did in the past when we were young and when we were poor. So there are times, and he changed obviously throughout the movie several times. But in our lives, we have that same sort of sense of change. Sometimes we agree to things when we're young, and when we get older, it may not fit. or maybe it's even more passion that we're going to put into this. But whatever it is, it's time to revisit and just see if you need to adjust your path. All right? So that is everything for this month. If you'd ever like to talk with me one-on-one and see if there's something that I can do to help you for the year ahead, or if there's a particular issue that's come up in your life and you just want to chat about it, I do offer appointments, and I have a lot of different time periods now and also availability that I didn't have in the past, so you should check out my site if you haven't in the past. Also, if you just like to support this channel, I would love for you to do that because this is viewer supported. So feel free to check out Patreon or my donation page on my website. That's optional, but again, with this being viewer supported, it's very much appreciated. Additionally, if you just like to keep in touch, feel free to join me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or you can subscribe to my newsletter. That way you'll know when I post new videos like this. And finally, I'd like to thank you guys, not only for your support, your likes, and your subscribes, but also for the work that you're doing on yourselves. Please keep doing that. That's the whole reason I'm here. That's the whole reason I think you're here, is to learn about yourself, to prepare for the future, and hopefully to ignite that spark within. I want more light workers on this planet, and I want more teachers on this planet. So hopefully I'm inspiring some of you to do that. I wish you all of the best in 2018. I thank you so much for your support over the past few years, and I wish you a very, very happy new year. Thank you so much. We'll see each other very soon. Bye.